Sitting there listening to Carmen read my story, I began to have flashbacks. I began to think about that very night that I was standing up on a stage receiving my GED. But before I can even bring you up to that point, I sat and I watched everyone come in and out of the door, and I watched all the little young ladies come in, and I just remember when I was your age and I was your size. I thought about this thing, and it was titled, "Why Do Girls Cry?" I had to say, why did I cry? Why was I crying? I cried because I come from a dysfunctional home setting. I cried because I was molested by my grandfather, by my uncles, by my cousins, by the cleanest man. Friends of the family was molesting me. They was handling my little body. Didn't have nobody that I can talk to. Nobody that I can cry. You say you had a household, the grandmother, she would cook and, do all the breakfast and all those things, but nobody never told me that they loved me. Everything was always done with a nickel, a dime, a quarter. Shh, don't talk about this. Granddaddy gonna give you some money. Uncle gonna give you some money. So I didn't talk to anyone. As a child, how can I articulate that someone was handling my body? How can I tell someone that this had happened to me in the dark closets, in the hallways, in the stairwells? Didn't have my mother there. My grandmother was there. My grandfather was there, the one who was molesting me. But nobody never told me that they loved me. No one never told me that I want you to be like this and be like that. No one never pushed me to be a little girl. Never had anyone to tell me those things in my life. Where was my mother? I don't know. Where was my father? I don't know. Later, I found that my mother was a drug addict. I found out that my father was a drug addict. I decided to be with my mother. My grandmother said, well, if that's what you want to do, then I'm going to let you move with her. I moved in with my mother, and when I got there, I'm like, my mother? This is my father. I'm looking for my mother. She dressed like a man. She's looking like a man. Got all these strange people in the household. I'm like, what in the world is really going on? But my environment drove me to the next level of my life. What was that? Denise came into an environment where the household partied all weekend long. They was having orgies in the household, parties. Women were getting molested. Women were getting raped. And I was in that environment. And as a child, being curious, I wanted to know what was all that sound that was going on in that front room. Because my mother would lock us in the room. She didn't want us to see what was going on. But the sound drew me to come out and see what was going on. And when I seen the things that had taken place, the men that was having the sex with the women, I said, I would never, never in my entire life lay with a man. That was the first time in my life that I didn't want to have nothing to do with a man. Because I looked at men as being dogs. I looked at men as they hurt. It was painful. So I walked around with that in my life. My mother said, Denise, come here. I want to sit you right here. I want you to watch what I do because I don't want you to be like me. I began to watch her and see her shoot dope. I see her OD lay out in the floor, and I'm sitting there like this here, watching. She said, I want you to go on 16th Street. How many of you all know where 16th Street is? She said, I want you to go over here on Kesey, Arden. I want you to go over here and pick my dope up for me. I'm 12 years old. I'm running to get her dope. I done seen her do everything. So this one particular time, I took 2 bags of dope out. And I said, I'm going to do exactly what she had me to sit there and watch her do. Because in actuality, she was telling me, Denise, I want you to be like me. Because she allowed me to see that. And guess what I did? I taught myself how to shoot dope. I tied up, I cooked the dope up, I shot the dope up, and guess what? I was looking for that last thing, and that was this, to see her. When I started 9, I knew this was it. And there was the door opener. Well, she was bisexual. Guess what I did? I turned around and I got me a girlfriend. Then somebody, because you know how you play house and you do these little bitty things. I didn't know that it was going to open me up to be a full-court lesbian. So a woman 10 years older than I was turned me out into the gay lifestyle. So now I'm like my mother now. I'm walking in my mother's footstool. What? What's up? What's up? Doing all the little things. Guess what? She taught me the game. I did just like her. I had things by day, hoes by night. Because I followed in her footsteps. I want to make sure that I did worse than she did. You say, why do girls cry? Well, I cried because I was in so much pain. I cried because my life had got on the wrong lane. Got in the wrong lane. All the things that I learned, that was not what I wanted to do. I always desired to be married. I always desired to have children. I didn't know that my life was going to take a turn the way it did. Because I lived as a man for over 15 years, you knew nothing about me being a woman. I dressed like a man. I wore the shoes. I put the strap-on penises on. I had the haircuts. My whole life, I lived like a man. And because I lived like that, there were men that wanted to kill me because I thought I was a man. So therefore, what I did was jump through a window, receiving 183 stitches, being pronounced dead at Loretta Hospital. But you see me standing here before you today because it was the goodness of God that allowed me to be able to stand here today, that I'll be standing in this thing and this forum called Why Do Girls Cry? Well, I don't have to cry no more today because of my hurt and my pain, but I'm crying today because my passion and my love is that somebody here, that there is somebody that's on high, that's looking low, that want to meet every need in the room today. So I thank Regina for even inviting me out to be able to stand before you to tell you, you don't have to cry no more. So I appreciate the opportunity to even be able to stand here before you. It's been 25 years since I laid with any woman. It's been 25 years since I started dating. And today, I'm standing before you. I now come from, as they said, borderline retardation, dropping out of school. I stand before you with my master's